giving your dogs quiet time throughout the festive season can be really helpful to reducing trigger stacking, because we're very simply reducing the amount of sensory input they're getting, which means that there's less for them to process and therefore less stress and all of that. We can do this by simply giving them a nice quiet space, and depending on the layout of your house and sort of what the family's plans are and stuff like that, that might be where you were all planning on hanging out. If it's going to get a little bit rowdier, then making sure that your dogs know where a quiet room is, so sort of making sure there's some comfy beds in there, furniture if they're allowed on it, there's a couple of water bowls in there, maybe leave some chews in there so that if they go exploring and they decide they want to go have a chew, then they can do. Leave free access to that room if you want. So it isn't unheard of for my dog at Christmas to go and hide in a room by himself, and he will come out if we call him. But when we're getting a little bit rowdy, playing games, being a bit silly, he will just take himself off, and that's what he does, and he's quite happy doing that. If your dog is sort of the dog that wants to be in the action the whole time, it might be worth shutting them away for a little bit. And I'm not talking shut them in a dark room for an hour, like hours and hours on end, where they're not having any fun. Like I said, make that room nice, give them nice comfy places to be, give them chews, make it a nice area for them to hang out in. Then they don't necessarily have to sleep and be deprived of all sensory input, but just give them the option. Like Sonic is the dog that would 100% be in all the action, completely make herself overtired and then explode. So she is a dog that I would sort of put her in a crate for a little while, give her a good nap once a day, and it's just crate time. Maybe probably whilst we were eating or something like that, so it's not a time where she's going to be missing out and she's not getting too she's not feeling like it's a punishment or anything like that. It's not a punishment. We are just giving you some quiet downtime to let your brain recover from constant sensory input, and also doing some quieter walks. So making sure that you're going, instead of, if you have had a super busy Christmas, instead of going into the middle of town and seeing loads and loads of people, maybe going for a quieter walk where you're not going to see so many people, where it's going to be a little bit more naturey. There's going to be less sensory input in terms of noise. If your dogs do suffer with fear of missing out, just see if you can give them a chew, take them for a nice sniffy walk, calm them down, try and place them as far away from the noises going on for the family as you can. Not so that, again, we're shutting them in like a quiet room in the corner of the house, that's not the point at all, but simply just so that they are less likely to hear it and less likely to feel that fear of missing out. If they are really going to struggle with that, you could again try putting them in your car, as long as it's safe for you to do so. They're going to be safe in there, and they're going to be happy in there as well, because if they're not, then that's defeating the purpose. Just essentially trying to find those quiet pockets where we can go, okay, slightly less noise for you, and let their brains recover from that, stop trigger stacking from happening.